Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back with another video. Hope everyone's well wherever you are. I did want to record a video both on my Facebook and my YouTube last night, or yesterday, but I sort of procrastinated and then I got a bit too tired, or I thought it was probably a bit too late to make a video. I probably thought I should go to sleep finally at about 4 o'clock because I got obsessed with watching YouTube videos myself on my big TV. I was also a bit under the weather today. Earlier on, we had a thunderstorm, which lasted for probably about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes or so. I don't think it lasted that long, but yeah, it was a bit scary. I'm a bit scared under thunderstorms. I'm a bit of a chicken, I'm afraid. But yeah, that was a long time ago. But I'm glad it went past, and hopefully it doesn't come back soon. Because I'm a bit of a chicken, as I say. When it comes to thunderstorms, I'm not too keen on them. But anyway, yeah, last night I wanted to share some of my thoughts, mainly about football, really, to be honest. But yeah, probably a bit about the weather as well. But um, you can probably tell football or soccer for any Yanks out there, for any Americans out there, in the politest possible way, is one of my top passions. If you see my videos, you can probably tell. Um, but yeah, I want to talk about I suppose mainly I want to focus on like investors, sponsors, and people like that, or organisations and companies like that to invest in Italian football, Celtic FC, and Africa and Asia as well, just generally, and things like that. Yeah, I have all these thoughts in my head. If only I could organise my thoughts more. But yeah, as I say, I've been a bit under the weather. I wasn't feeling too good. Like my eyes were really killing me. They still sometimes feel a little bit sore, but the pain goes away for a bit and then it comes back again. So I'm not sure if that's because I watch too much TV or I don't sleep at the right times or what. But um, anywho, yeah. So I would love for to encourage as many banks and businesses generally and other potential investors, any individual or organisation that invests, say like banks, businesses, hedge funds, sovereign wealth funds, and whatnot, to invest into Italian football and Celtic, as well as Africa and Asia as nations generally, um, in terms of like supporting African and Asian businesses as well. But from a selfish point of view, I would love for them to invest in Italian football. So yeah, I think of like, due to my patterns with alliterations, that's one of my patterns I have, and then another one is like a word or letter that reminds me of one. I'd like to be first in a sentence, then two, second, three, third, fourth, and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I get a bit too obsessed with that alliteration, with that pattern. Sorry, I don't know what you call that pattern, but other than mad. But yeah, you can probably tell I'm a bit mad. Yeah, sometimes when I make these videos, I think I can't believe I'm making these videos, broadcasting my madness to the world. But I do have a lot of thoughts on my mind that I would like to express. But yeah, so I say like banks to invest in Italian football and Celtic, as well as like Africa and Asia in terms of business and stuff like that. But when it comes to football, I would love for them to invest into Italian football and Celtic, as well as like hedge funds to invest in Italian football and Celtic, and again in African and Asian businesses or African tech and things like that. From a less selfish point of view, um, sovereign wealth funds for Italian football and Celtic and that kind of thing. So I thought it'd be pretty cool if all possible companies in the world that would invest in Italian football and Celtic, and like when it comes to Italian football specifically, I would love it to be like based on alliterations. So like companies that begin with A to invest in AC Milan, for instance, R to invest in Roma, although it's AES Roma, but companies that begin with R to invest in Roma, or even banks and other investors. Investment companies or vehicles or whatnot, like Bridgewater, which was run by Ray Dalio, or Berkshire Hathaway, which is run by Warren Buffett, as far as I'm aware, and his team, to invest in Bologna or Bari. I would love for Barclays to invest in Bari. I think that would be pretty cool. And like the U.A.E. or Arab nations generally to invest in Udinese, or like even the UK or United States. I'd love for like all possible countries, nations, or whatever you call them, and places or areas to have their own sovereign wealth funds, like Abu Dhabi has with the City Group, where they would invest into Italian football and Celtic, and as I say, African and Asian businesses like startups and that sort of thing, and in the case of Africa, in tech as well. Yeah, so like if Sweden had its own sovereign wealth fund, if it doesn't already do so, it could like invest in Sampdoria or Sassuolo or Salernitana or Spezia or Spal. Although Salernitana and Sassuolo both are called U.S. Sassuolo or Salernitana respectively. So I thought it'd be cool if the U.S. had its own sovereign wealth fund that invested in one of those. I think there are, well, I know there are rules. I don't know a huge amount about them, but I think you can't invest in football teams that are based on the same competition. So like if they play in Serie A or in the EPL respectively or the Champions League, you can't invest in a team that could face each other in the same competition. Um, sorry, stomach's rumbling again for some reason. But yeah, um, I'll say I would love for like say Switzerland to invest in Spal or Spezia, the US to invest in Sassuolo or Salernitana, and again Liscio and China Investment Corporation for Cremonese or Catania, and all of the potential investors as well to invest in Celtic. I think it'd be amazing to see what Celtic could do if they had loads and loads of money. I'd say also African and Asian entrepreneurs or businesses, entrepreneurs, whichever term you prefer, whatever the difference is, and organisations and projects just generally as well from a less selfish point of view. And yeah, I'd say another pattern, as I say, that I have is like words that remind me of one being in the first in the sentence, two, second, three, third, four, fourth, and four, and so on and so forth. Um, I nearly forgot my train of thought. I nearly forgot something I was going to say, which is that I would love for Real Madrid perhaps to beat Man City, but although I think a harsh part of me hopes there'll be a few injuries in that game, hopefully not too bad, but if they injure a few of the top players like Haaland or Vinicius Junior, that might give a chance to the winners of AC Milan or Inter Milan to get to the final. But yeah, because it's a Mediterranean team, I hope for Real Madrid to win, but and for Man City to then focus on the league and win that hopefully. Um, to annoy my friend who's an Arsenal fan, but it's a bit of a dilemma when it comes to Spanish teams because they are in competition with Italian football. So I think they're probably a few cups ahead of us in terms of overall trophies in Europe or internationally or both. So that, excuse me. So as they're a Mediterranean team, it's sort of a bit of a dilemma for me to wish for. But I sort of wish for Mediterranean or Latin teams, especially especially Latin teams, to do well in Europe. With Italian teams and Celtic, if they do get investment, if and when they do, I think they should use that investment to buy better players and to invest in the academies. I think it's really important that they invest in the academies, especially in Italy's case, in Italian team's case, sorry, for the youth. So if, say, JP Morgan invests in Juventus, I put it JP Morgan for Juventus, I hope that they would build academies as well as buying better players. So that is good for the national team and for the future of Italian football generally as well. There was something I was going to say and I completely forgot. But oh yeah, that was it. I would love for famous fans or fans generally of Italian teams and as well as Celtic to like donate to clubs for, in Celtic's case, for instance, for like Conor McGregor. Apparently, he's a Celtic fan and he said he was going to buy the club. But I'd love it if as many people had shares and equity in the club as possible. And if he donated to a club to build his academies, like or at least sponsored like his own academies or whatnot. So like the Conor McGregor Celtic Academy to help develop footballers for Celtic for the future, to develop young players, and similar for Italian football. I'd love similar stuff for that. Also, I'd love for investors to invest, as many investors as possible, to invest in Asian enterprise, in Asian projects like businesses and that kind of thing. But yeah, apparently Michael Owen, Wayne Rooney, and people like that. There's quite a few Celtic fans, like including footballers or former footballers, as I say, like Michael Owen and Wayne Rooney. I think they could be heroes for Celtic fans if they donate to the club or had shares in the club, equity in the club, and that sort of thing, and like help train some of the younger players for the future, and create their own academies and stuff like that. And similar, I also say, for Italians and with Italian Americans or Argentinians of Italian descent, Brazilians of Italian descent, and so on and so forth, even Canadians and that kind of thing, Australians and whatnot. Like apparently Elisa, if I pronounce her name right, Eliza or Lisa Milano is an Inter Milan fan. So if she had her own academies for Inter Milan for the future as well, I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so I hope that covered everything. I hope I didn't forget anything. But as ever, I would love to hear your thoughts on Italian football or soccer for any Americans, or and Zurich or Celtic, and that kind of thing. I know there's something I forgot to say because it's always something I forget to say pretty much. But I would love to connect with my fellow neurodiverse people, as well as I meant to say that actually at the start of the video. I'd love to connect with neurodiverse or mixed race or other people who have things in common with me, or people generally. So if you want to be on my channel in the future, like collaborate, please let me know in the comment section. And I really appreciate all your support if you share the video and like it and that kind of thing. Subscribe if you're new or whatnot. And I am out. Peace and out.